Welcome everyone to Tell Me That. My name is Paul, and in this podcast I interview my dad to find out about his interesting, funny and enlightening life stories. So if you are interested in learning from my dad, then stay tuned.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, Dad.
How is it going?
Good. How about you?
All right, great. Thanks. Well, today is podcast number 15 of the season Tell Me That.
Of season 1, Tell Me That, yeah.
Season 1,
Yeah.
Tell Me That, yeah. I really enjoyed that. I mean, doing 14 podcasts, I have never done that before in my life, But anyway, it was fun, and it was also learning for me. And what I did appreciate very much was to go back in time to talk about these things that happened like 30, 40 years ago. It was amazing, It was a very emotional trip, And when I think about it, what have I done right and what have I done not so well? Well, I have never done something wrong, because whatever I did because I wanted to do it, So what I have learned was be authentic, be the person you are. Never try to put an act on. People will notice. They can sense that, and you destroy the possibility of building up confidence. So stay the way you are and do what you want to do. This is also very important. Do what you enjoy. I had a few decisions to make in my life. Once I had a job offer of the money was not an issue, amazing, the money these people offered. And I still didn't take the job because I stayed with the company that I enjoyed working for, And I must also say, this is another point, always be loyal. Be loyal to the people you're working for directly and to the company. This is also important, And people in the long run, they will appreciate that. When I think about my career and the people that I have hired, for me it was always important that when I met someone first time, that I could get that feeling, well, he is a trustworthy person, He's someone that is not giving you any bullshit, I still remember some meetings that we had in the United States, to hire people. Well, in the States, it's easier, In the States, you hire someone, you try this someone. After 3 or 6 months, if you don't get along with this someone, you kick him in the ass, and that's it, This is not that easy in Germany. Of course, in Germany, you have this probation, 3 months or 6 months. But even then, if you hire the wrong person to get rid of him, it's difficult, because if you try to get rid of someone, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to involve a lawyer. United States, they say, well, okay, then let's separate, that's it, And people go and look for another job. I still remember one meeting we had we were actually looking for a new sales manager. A good position, well paid. He would have been responsible for about 15 to 20 salespeople, and this person, he gave me so much bullshit in that meeting, you know. I asked him about his mechanical capabilities, because if you sell machine tools, you should know what the bearing is, you should know what a gear is, you should know how a gearbox works and so on, you know. And he told me how well he has 3 motorcycles at home, and once in a while he takes them all apart and he puts them together again, and then he's going to test them, you know. He goes full speed with these motorcycles. I mean, this fact was something that made my decision already clear. You're not going to hire this guy because he puts his life at stake, you know, once in a while. So, but anyway, and then I asked him, I said, well, what kind of motorcycles you have? Well, he said, these Italians, you know, these Italian motorcycles. I said, well, you mean like the Yamaha and so on? And he said, yeah, Yamaha. And so, I mean, Yamaha is Japanese. We all know that, you know.
Yeah.
And so he probably never owned a motorcycle. But you see, this is something that you have to be very careful with, especially in the United States. When people apply for a job, these recruiters, they have to be very well trained, because they have to deal with so much bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
And they have to develop a very good sense for, is it true or not true? But anyway, the worst that can happen is in 3 or in 6 months, you kick this person out. However, it doesn't really help the company, because the company does not want to just hire and fire. The company wants to get a new person for a position, you know, to cover a position. But again, this is a totally different mentality. In Germany, we don't have that. And so, but I mean, I still have learned a lot from how to hire people, you know. I mean, before I went to the States, to involve a recruiter, I was kind of, well, we don't need that, it's way too expensive, you know.
Yeah.
And the recruiter gets like almost 6 salaries of the guy, you know, as a commission. But it's wrong. If you work with a good professional recruiter, he is sorting out these guys that don't fit, you know, and the 3 guys he's going to present are good people. And sometimes you have a hard time, you know, to pick someone from these 3 guys, because you would like to hire them all because they're all good. So I have changed my attitude, you know, in regard to how to do business, how to hire people, but also how to deal with people, you know, and become a little bit open-minded. I told you that story about my boss in the United States, that after a while he said, well, Willie, I got a ticket here. I mean, I have the feeling that you want to go back to Germany, you know, and I didn't even know what he was talking about. And then he said, well, I mean, you behave like a stubborn, hard-headed German here. You tell people what to do, whether you're right or wrong. You know, it's. We don't need people like that here. We need people that listen. And based on what input they get, make decisions. And these decisions they discuss with their people, you know. So it's a different world, you know. And then he gave me a second chance, and I changed myself into a different person, you know, and I really appreciate that. This gentleman was, I mean, that he gave me a second chance was just a gift, and that he has helped me to become a better person, you know. So I learned from that. I learned to respect different cultures, different people, I mean, not everybody is the same, whether it's in normal life or in even sales calls. There are some sales calls here in Germany, after 10 seconds, people talk about technical features and about facts and this and that, and you put drawings on the table. And so this is, I mean, in other countries, it doesn't work that way. In France, you probably go and have a lunch first. That takes like 3 hours, and sometimes it's difficult to understand, but this is what people appreciate. If you take your time for them and listen to them, it builds up confidence. And I mean, United States, it's. I mean, I had customers. Of course, they wanted to talk about facts and technical features and so on. It depends also a little bit about how long you know these people already and so on. But even then, the people just love talking about golf and this and that and tennis and the families and which university is your son going to, and so on and so on, and before they come to the facts of the business, that doesn't mean that they're going to make bad decisions. I think basically they're going to make better decisions. Sometimes the people they say, well, if I spend like $1 million or $2 or $3 million, I want to know the person that I'm gonna spend the money with, So if I don't like the guy, if he is not capable of listening, it's not worth it, He can have the best machine tool in the world. If I'm gonna have a problem, is he gonna listen to me? Is he gonna understand my position? And this is important. So if you start understanding the situation, you have made already a big step in the right direction. But also in private life, you make friends, by listening, by having a certain social life, This is important. And business-wise, never put the money up first, I mean, the higher your position will be, the more money you're going to make anyway, But only going for the money, you probably end up at the end really having no job at all, or you end up in a job that you don't like at all, So I mean, of course, money is important, but if you apply for a good job, if you want to make a career and you apply for the right jobs, the money will come automatically, I mean, good jobs in bigger companies, they always have a budget anyway, and you don't, in many cases, you don't have to negotiate a lot. These people, they don't want to spend their time to negotiate with you if you get $5,000 less or more in per year. The good positions, they are covered with a good income, and this is what I learned. People don't really like when you pick on the salary, when you try to squeeze out a little bit more. They just don't like that, So, and what I have learned in my life was, sometimes you come to a dead-end street, and you have to make decisions, follow your heart, follow your gut feeling, but also follow your head, But you have to be happy in life. This is very important. You have to be happy. Sometimes you have to make decisions. Private life, I still remember when I made the decision to leave my first family. You see, Paul, these are decisions you just don't make like that, You think about it for a long time, but sometimes you have to decide whether it should go on like that, and you're going to be unhappy, and it makes you sick. And the other person is also unhappy and sick, Or you just cut the line and you say that's it, I gonna start all over again. I'm gonna help you to start all over again, but together we have no chance to be a happy couple in life, So sometimes you just have to make these decisions, and also business-wise, there's the same thing, I have decided in my life to work for good companies that I like. I have received offers from companies that I went to see, and I always ask the head of human resources, before I leave, can I take a look at your workshop? Can you give me a tour? And then I looked at the people, whether they were smiling or not, or how they were working, and sometimes just the atmosphere, that workshop, pulled kind of a trigger in my head, that made me to say, no, thanks, but no, I'm not going to take that job, It's the companies that I have chosen, except the last one, that was I could let's just skip that time, the Eiffel people. But otherwise, the companies before that I've been working for were basically good companies. This family-owned business that I've been working for, it was a good company from the product point of view and the structure point of view and the position. And it was a good company, but the point is always when there is a company owned by a single person and he has 2 kids or 3 kids that kind of want to get into the company sooner or later. It's like a time bomb, You're going to say yes, and I'm going to arrange myself with these guys. And no, you will not.
No, you're not.
Because they want to prove to you that they are in charge and that you are an employee, and it makes you unhappy. It makes you unhappy. So, but that was before I started my own business. And to start an own business, this was a decision in my life that I don't regret at all. It was I have been working for a few companies. They have made a lot of money with my help. And I know products. I'm a good engineer. I can see a good market for a certain product. I see a big potential. I know a lot of customers already in this market. What I need is a partner, but this shouldn't be a problem. And you see, if you add all these facts together, it is kind of easy to say yes to that decision, to say, well, I do it. Even though when you say you do it and you go that way, it's you should never, ever think about that it could fail. Mm-hmm. If you think once, what am I going to do if it fails? It will fail. Yeah. It will fail. You're gonna be a victim of the Peter principle. You know, it will fail. So my startup at the time, failure was not an option. It was not in my business plan. It was no way, you know. But again, pick the right people as employees, people that want to have fun, you know. I mean, not just plain workers, you know, from 8 to 5, you know, working hard, you know. No, you want to have creative people. Why do you think that companies like Apple or Tesla or, you know, I mean, these guys, you know, Musk or Gates or whatever, you know, I mean, Steve Jobs, of course they were tough, you know, tough as steel. However, if you take a look at the companies, they all gave room for these people to develop themselves. They had recreational areas. They wanted to have creative people, because with all these ideas that these people have, I mean, you as a single person will never be capable or able to come up with all these ideas, you know. I mean, of course, I mean, these guys that I just named, they also have the disadvantages. I mean, when I think about some stories about Steve Jobs, you know, that he took some screens and threw them out the window because he didn't like them. Yes, of course, this is, I mean, the guy could afford it because he was right. Yeah. You know, he was right. And this makes a good leader, you know. Let the people know, give them lead, let them develop themselves, let them be creative. But if you feel that something goes in the wrong direction, I mean, just stop them. Don't discuss with them, so you're going to be tired, you know. Just stop them and tell them, no, we're going to go in a different direction. You know? So, and the companies that I've been working for were also very, at the time, you know, I mean, not to compare with companies today, but at the time they were very modern companies. And when I started up my company, I hired people that had a lot of passion for adventure. They wanted to be part of it. This one designer that I've hired, you know, I explained to him, I said, well, this is a startup, young man, and a startup is always a risk, you know. So in 6 months, if it doesn't work, you might have to look for a different job. And he told me, he said, no, boss, failure is not an option. We're going to go through that. I want to be part of that. Yeah. These are the people you are looking for. You have to look for, you know. Or that one young engineer from Kazakhstan, you know, that when he joined the company, he was kind of shy, you know, but within like a couple of weeks, you know, he came up with some brilliant ideas, you know. He was a very good mechanic, but he was also a good designer. He had, he had that, what it takes when you meet someone, you know, people just liked him, you know, they liked him, and he was a great help for me to develop my biggest customer, Siemens, and but also some external people that I worked with when I started this small distribution company in Poland. The young man that I hired as a managing director of that company, you know, I mean. He made, as a salesman, he made 600 euros per month, totally underpaid, you know. And I offered him a position as a director in a startup I was willing to pay him 1,200 euros per month. I also offered him, if he wants to have a good secretary, he can choose whoever he wants. And he said, well, yes, I want to hire my wife because she is a good secretary.
Mm-hmm.
She is employed right now at a big company here in Danzig, or Gdansk, as the Polish people say. But she's a great secretary, and she would be the best backup for me that I can think of. So, I mean, that guy developed this company within a couple of years into a multi-million-dollar business. And today, he is the owner of a really a big distribution company selling all kinds of industrial equipment, has more than 40 people. The same with this little guy from Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
You know, he has more than 40 people in a service company today that he's running, but at highest end. Best tools, best people. He offers first-class service to his customers, and that is a company that's just growing, you know. Or the other guy, that designer that wanted to be part of us, you know. It's amazing, you know. But today, he is the managing director of a small machine tool company, about, I don't know, he has 10, 12 people, but highly specialized, very profitable. And I mean, these people were good people. This is the big risk that you have in life when people are so good, you know. Sooner or later, they want to go their own way,
Mm-hmm.
you know. The same that I did, you know. But I think, well, it's their right. They can do whatever they want. But in a situation like that, you have to be prepared, and you have to look for new people. Again, the right people.
Yeah.
You know, this is very important. Because in any company, what really makes the difference, you know? I mean, basically, if you buy, I am a machine tool man, you know, and product for me is always machine tools, you know, whether it's a milling machine or turning machine or whatever. So, but if you buy a machine tool today, whether it comes from Germany, from Italy, from Japan, even from China, they have the same drive systems, they have the same control systems, they have the same, even the same structural items, you know, that I mean, sometimes I have the feeling that the base machine comes from the same factory, you know, and they just add their own features, you know. But you see, what I'm saying is the products are more and more alike. The same with cars, you know. If you want to buy a new car today, you know, if you're going to go high-end and you look at the Mercedes-Benz or at an Audi or a BMW, I mean, performance-wise and quality-wise and even price-wise, these cars are all in the same league.
Yeah.
In many cases, the big difference is made by the person that's selling the car to you. And if these people listen well, you know, we have one guy in one of our houses. Mm-hmm. He is a sales manager in a very big with a very big car distributor, and I mean, that guy is the born salesman. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is not. Well, I don't mean it like cheap, you know. This is more a compliment, you know, because you see, in Germany, a salesman is not really always considered as a very high position. The United States, a salesman, if someone says, "Well, I'm a salesman," you know, it has a totally different meaning, you know. Yeah,
because selling is an art. Not everyone can sell.
Absolutely, you know. And that guy here, it's just amazing, you know.
Yep. He knows how to sell, but he's honest at the same time. So he doesn't
honest,
lie.
you know.
Doesn't tell you anything that's not true.
Exactly. When I bought that car for you, 3 years ago, and I said, well...
Actually, that's almost 5 years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Time is flying, you know.
Yeah.
So when I said, well, I mean, give me your best price. He said, this is your best price, you know, here. I said, no, I mean, your real best price, you know. I mean, and he gave me the same price. And I said, come on, you can do better. And he said, no, you have asked me to give you your best price, you know. And I don't have 3 different best prices, you know. You are a good person, I like you very much, and you buy a car from me now. I appreciate that very much, and you get the best conditions that I can offer. And what I squeezed in already is a complete service for this car, and we're gonna clean it up and make it like brand new. But that's the price, you know. And I bought the car.
Yeah.
What I want to say is these people make the difference. You know, people make the difference, and at the end of my professional life, not at the end, but close to the end, when I worked with these Americans, these 6 guys in that board of directors, you know, each one of them was a unique person, you know. I mean, that honest, and a lot of know-how. They knew exactly what they were doing, but still, they wanted to have fun. Yeah. They appreciated good food, a good drink once in a while, a Cuban cigar once in a while, you know. And so that is what life is all about, you know. And if you're going to be able in your life to share these feelings with your family, with the right person on your side, this actually doubles the value of the time. You know, it makes a big difference. You know. Anyway, so but there is always a situation when you meet people that you shouldn't meet. At the end of my professional life with these guys from the Eifel, it was no good. I mean, to understand these people, it was difficult for me because they were not really focused on the vision of the company, you know. They were just focused on their wallet, you know. This wallet thinking, you know, as the Americans say, you know, and this is no good. And when you have like 5, 6, 7 of these people in your company, you know, it can kill a company, you know. Imagine if these guys that I had in the company would have been focused, would have understood my vision, where I would see the company in like 5 years. I mean, this company could be today the leading company for machine tool refurbishment. But these guys just didn't want to go that way. You know, they I don't know what, they wanted to have their little games and intrigues, and so in a situation like that, you have to have the guts to say, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm not going to spoil my life because of these people. And that's it, you know. So, and that is what I did. And so today, I retired, as you know.
Yes.
And we did this beautiful podcast that I enjoyed very much. And I can imagine that. I mean, you are a very creative person, and you're going to be thinking of something new. I know that. So, but I gonna be available. I appreciate that you take the time for your dad to do these crazy things. I think it's not always that way, but this is valuable family time, and this is something that I really enjoy. And well, I'm very curious about what's up next.
Yep.
And
You know how it goes in life. Usually when one door closes, another one opens.
Another one opens. And I tell you, regardless what you think of, I gonna be in.
Yep.
And I go for it, So thanks again.
Yep.
And
that was season 1 of Tell Me That.
Yeah, that was great. And all the people out there, before we start this, whatever Paul is thinking of, I have a little break because I get some treatment in a hospital. I have a health issue, but I have very good doctors. They're going to take care of that, and I guess in about 2-3 months this is going to be taken care of, and then there will be a good future for all of us. So you guys take care. Stay healthy. Health is the most important asset that we have in life, And to everybody out there, do your yearly physical checkup. It's very important because during these checkups, sometimes doctors discover things that you would never think of, So this is my let's say the valuable message that I have for you guys. Take care, all the best, and I'm looking forward to what Paul is gonna bring up next. Take care, all the best.
But as you always say, that is something you're going to find out in the next episode.
Okay, yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay, Paul, thanks a lot. Take care.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Take care.